Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin Z Collection. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable pieces in American coinage, the Washington quarter from 1966. You might not expect a coin from the coin 1960s to fetch a jaw-dropping $2 million. But as we peel back the layers of history, rarity, and craftsmanship, you'll understand exactly how this piece came to hold such a staggering value. First, let's travel back in time to understand the roots of the Washington quarter. This coin was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, this quarter depicted Washington's profile on the obverse and a majestic eagle on the reverse. It's a coin rich in history, representing the founding of our country. Now, fast forward to 1966. By this time, the design had been unchanged for over 3 decades. The Washington quarter had become a familiar sight in the hands of Americans, and most of us probably had seen one without thinking twice. But as we'll soon learn, not all 1966 quarters are created equal. In 1966, the U.S. Mint produced more than 1 billion Washington quarters, meaning most of these coins are quite common. But the magic of rare coins lies in the small differences. In some cases, a minting error or the coin's unique condition can drastically raise its value. And that's where the story of the $2 million Washington quarter comes into play. Imagine walking through your local coin shop, spotting a 1966 Washington quarter, and realizing that what looks like a regular coin could actually be worth millions. But why? Well, there's a particular variety of this coin that stands apart from the rest. The 1966 Washington quarter with a minting error, often referred to as the double die error. This rare coin features a striking anomaly in the design that makes the image of Washington appear doubled. It's an error that occurred during the minting process when the die was misaligned, leaving behind a coin with 2 overlapping images. This type of error is extremely rare. Only a handful of these double-die 1966 Washington quarters have been discovered, making them highly coveted by collectors. When one of these elusive coins sold for $2 million, it turned heads across the numismatic world. But why such an astronomical price? Another key factor in determining the value of this coin is its condition. In the world of numismatics, we measure coin condition using a grading scale from good to mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A double-die 1966 Washington quarter in pristine condition can be worth far more than one that's been worn down over time. The coin that sold for $2 million was graded as Proof 70, which is the highest possible grade. This means the coin was essentially flawless, with no visible imperfections. The combination of rarity and impeccable condition is what elevated this particular quarter to such a high value. But finding one of these coins is like searching for a needle in a haystack. So, what does this mean for you as a coin collector? Well, there's always the potential of finding a rare gem in your pocket change, but it's important to know what to look for. When you're inspecting Washington quarters from 1966, here's what to check for. 1. Look for the distinctive double die error, particularly around the date and Washington's portrait point. 2. Examine the condition of the coin. Coins with minimal wear are far more valuable. 3. Pay attention to any unique features or abnormalities in the coin's design. 4. If you have any doubts, always take your coin to a professional grader for verification. Now, while the 1966 double die quarter is certainly one of the most famous, it's not the only valuable Washington quarter out there. Over the years, there have been other rare quarters with minting errors or limited production that are worth a pretty penny. For example, the 1932D and 1932S Washington quarters are also highly sought after due to their limited mintage. And let's not forget about the 1976 bicentennial quarters, which are still interesting for their historical significance. So, what's the bottom line? A 1966 Washington quarter could be worth in history. The coin Washington quarter from 1967. Now, you might be thinking, 1967? That's not even a particularly old coin. But trust me, this is no ordinary quarter. despite it being just a few decades old. This coin has some fascinating qualities that have led it to be valued in the millions. Yep, you heard that right. This 1967 Washington quarter has been known to fetch up to $3 million at auctions. Stick around to learn how a simple quarter from 1967 can be worth so much before we dive into the specifics of this 1967 coin. Let's quickly look at the history of the Washington quarter itself. First introduced in 1932, the Washington quarter was created to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. A remarkable figure in American history, Washington's image was selected for the coin's obverse side, and it's been a staple of American coinage ever since. From 1932 to today, the Washington quarter has seen several changes in design, but what makes the 1967 edition interesting is its place during a unique moment in U.S. coinage history, just after the U.S. had started moving away from silverback coins. All right, let's take a closer look at the 1967 Washington quarter. It features the iconic image of George Washington on the front, designed by John Flanagan. On the reverse side, we see a majestic eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom. But here's the thing. 1967 was the last year the U.S. Mint issued coins with 90% silver content in their quarters. Starting in 1965, the government shifted to clad coins, which were primarily copper and nickel, and the 1967 Washington quarter is one of the final remnants of that silver era. And this silver content is what makes the coin so valuable. Now, the reason that the 1967 Washington quarter can be worth $3 million isn't because every coin from that year is valuable. Far from it. You see, while most 1967 Washington quarters are worth just a few dollars, mainly based on their silver content, some rare ones have unique characteristics that make them extraordinarily valuable. One of the most important factors that influence the coin's value is its condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A graded MS 67 or higher could be worth thousands of dollars. But if you're wondering how this coin could possibly reach $3 million, that's where the mystery of error coins comes in. Now, let's get to the part that really excites collectors. Errors. Some of these 1967 quarters have unusual minting errors, and some of these errors are extremely rare. Imagine this. A Washington quarter with a double die error or an incorrect mint mark. These coins are worth a fortune. For example, a rare 1967 Washington quarter with a double die on the reverse side can send collectors into a frenzy. These unique errors happen when the coin is struck by the die more than once, causing certain features to appear doubled or out of place. That simple mistake can turn a quarter into a priceless treasure. Okay, now that you're excited about the potential of finding a $3 million coin in your collection, let's talk about how to identify these rare 1967 quarters. First, always check the mint mark. You'll find it under the eagle on the reverse side. A coin with a mint mark that doesn't belong could be a sign of an error. Next, inspect the coin for double dies or other unusual features. You want to look for extra details that shouldn't be there, like additional letters or numbers, and always make sure to get your coins graded by a professional. This helps you determine their value and ensures that you're not holding on to something that's only worth a few bucks. Coins that are graded higher, like MS 65 or MS 67, could be the ones that bring in big bucks. Let's say you found a 1967 Washington quarter that could be worth big money. What's next? Well, you have a few options. You can take it to a local coin dealer, but for high-value coins, I'd recommend reaching out to reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, where collectors around the world might be bidding for your treasure. In conclusion, while not every 1967 Washington quarter is worth millions, there's still a real chance that the next time you pick up a quarter from your collection, you could be holding on to a small fortune. Whether it's because of the silver content, the minting errors, or simply its condition, this little coin has big potential. Keep your eyes peeled, your magnifier ready, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel Old Coin Z Collection for more amazing stories and coin hunting tips. Until next time, happy collecting.